Hello everyone, Sandrak here. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the new Claymores I'll be getting for free. Of course, it's the Fish Claymore. Now before we get started, just one quick announcement. There is a bow giveaway that is currently going on. All you have to do is go to that video, like, comment, and subscribe there, and then you're eligible for the giveaway. For the giveaway, I'll be giving $100 to the winner, and of course, that cannot guarantee you to pull bow, but for someone with a decent amount saved up, like 20 to 30 pulls, I believe that with that help, even if you do not get bow, by the end of bow's banner, you should be able to reach hard pity and pull her. So with that said, let's get started. So conclusions first. Personally, from the stats I'm looking at, the Fish Claymore is not very good. Not only does it have the lowest base attack among all 4-star Claymores so far, that is already a huge minus. Secondarily, even though it has a pretty high attack percent as substats, as secondary stats, but the attack percent heavily builds off the base attack. So with that said, the attack percent is actually supposedly lower than what it looks like it's going to be. And on top of that, its passive works exclusively with someone who focuses on Q. And currently, with all the Claymore characters in game, Eula is the only one that deals a large amount of damage through her Q. Other characters like Diluc can be built to do his Q, but other characters like Diluc who would probably do more damage with his E and his auto attacks combined than his Q. Whereas in Eula's case, it's literally a 50-50 split. 50% of her damage is packed into her Q. So currently, I would say if you absolutely have nothing to use on Eula, this is a okay weapon because you can get it R5 of course, but other than that, I don't honestly see a need to raise this weapon. So with that said, let's get into the details. Now first, a little lore about the thing between MiHoYo and Fish. If you aren't aware, MiHoYo has been a fan of making fish weapons in game. There is a fish weapon in Honkai. It's more like a single hand sword size. It's called One Salty Tuna, and this is the Fish Claymore, which is in Genshin. And during one of Honkai's ads, I can't find the exact ads here, but during one of Honkai's ads, MiHoYo also used a fish claymore of sorts, but it was like a mechanical sword that looks like a fish. Now the reason behind this, at least to my personal guess, is that One Salty Tuna, like the reason they named the sword, was actually an analogy in Chinese, and the exact analogy was called tuna flipping around. Essentially means a salty tuna, essentially it's a very lower end type of product, if that makes sense. It essentially represents someone or some company or something that is in rather low social and economical status, and then tuna flip around essentially means that company or that person rises to a significantly higher social status or a social economical status for, you know, one particular reason or something. And that's pretty much what MiHoYo did with the release of Honkai. They were pretty much unknown before the release of Honkai, but ever since the release of Honkai, they are one of the not the most popular, but they're at least a known company then. And also ever since the release of Genshin, now they're one of the biggest deals in the mobile and gaming industry. So with all that said, this might be one of the reasons why they're actually releasing the tuna. Internally probably celebrating that they have risen to a new height, given their previous achievements, significant risen. And of course with that said, this is probably why they're releasing the tuna. It's sort of an inside joke, and it's also sort of a company culture from MiHoYo at this point. So honestly, I'm not surprised to see more tuna or fish themed weaponry or fish themed and almost anything in the future. As long as they don't release like a fish person, it's probably fine. Regarding the name of the tuna, the name is called Luxurious Sea Lord, and it is actually not referring to the tuna itself. It is referring to the pearl the tuna is holding in its mouth. If you level this up to level 90, the tuna will actually turn sort of yellowish, and the pearl will start shining. So that's actually why this is called the Luxurious Sea Lord, or what the current English translation is. But the main reason is because of the pearl, not the fish. So with that said, let's move into the actual thing regarding the fish. So stats progression wise, as I've said before, at level 1 it has 41 base attack, the lowest among all 4-star claymores so far. The baseline was 42 previously, held by the Bell, the Serpent Spine, Rain Slasher, Lisic Blade, and the Inazuma craftable sword. Now, of course, Favonius Great Sword is 41 used to be, but no one uses that thing, so didn't really count it there. But yeah, 41 base attack is currently still the lowest among 4-star claymores. At level 90, we're looking at 454 base attack with 55.1 attack percent. Now let's compare it to 42 and 44 claymore and see how much they can raise up to. For example, any claymore with level base attack of 42 at level 90, we're looking at 510 base attacks, and for any claymore that can go as high as 44, we're looking at 565. So overall, this thing is losing around 50%, losing 50 flat attack from being at 41 when it rises to level 4. When it rises to level 90, it is losing 55 base attack compared to base attack 42 weapons, which is also why, as I've explained before, the attack percent will also go lower technically, because the attack percent is strictly based off the weapon and the character. So if the weapon has 50 less, then the attack percent when calculated will also have 50 less. So with that said, this is why the first point why I do not recommend this. Now, of course, if you're still going to build it, here are the materials you need. You will need what I like to call the telephones. They're actually the grain of a roasterite, basically the essential material you can find in Leo, I believe. And as for the mobs you need to farm, of course, it's the GOV ship or the GOV ship hatchling versus the slimes. Both of these you'll need, so have fun farming that, and also you'll need more, of course. Now moving on to how you can get more copies of it. This will be given off during one of the events, I believe the big one in patch 2.1, and during the event you can acquire something called Emperor's Balsam that allows you to basically refine it. Same case with the catch, except in the catch's case it's with the fishing event, whereas this is with the main event. So at refinement 1, it boosts elemental burst damage by 12% and also has a 100% chance of summoning a tuna that deals 100% of the attack as AoE damage once every 15 seconds. At refinement 5, per tradition, all the numbers are doubled, of course the useful numbers. So increase elemental burst damage by 24% and has a 100% chance of summoning a tuna that deals 200% attack as AoE damage once every 15 seconds. So of course, with this said, as we've discussed before, this is strictly very good on someone who uses elemental burst as like the largest chunk of their damage, but currently the only character that does that is Eula. All the other Claymore characters, as I've explained before, doesn't really need this. Beidou focuses on both E and Q, so you can't really just buff her Q. Also on top of that, if you buff her Q, you are bound to bring another battery just to charge her Q. Changyun Q does do damage, but Changyun's more focus is on E and applying cryo, and on top of that, he is only used for cryo application at the moment, so I don't know why you would use Changyun with that. Diluc, as I've said before, more focus is on E and auto attack. Q is like the big bomb that drops once in a while. Noelle needs to stack on defense for more damage, so Noelle doesn't work with the sword at all. Razor Q is like a bonus on top. Razor's main damage is physical. Sayu Q is for healing, so it doesn't apply here. Xinyan is off the meta, so you can use Xinyan probably, but in Xinyan's case, you probably need to build like a burst DPS Xinyan to use this sword. So of course, with that said, that's all I have for you for this sword. As I've explained, hopefully that's my reasoning good enough for why I think this sword is not going to be very good. Now of course, if you are free to play or if you are like a newer player, definitely level up these R5 4-star weapons, because these will serve as sort of your beginning transitional weapons, so you don't have to start leveling up stuff like Debate Club. But overall, I believe if you are one of the older players like me who has been playing since 1.0, you have like 3 or 4 leveled up Claymore sitting in your inventory, then I wouldn't recommend using this on anyone anytime soon. Now of course, there will be future Claymore characters coming. There actually might be one coming very soon. Can't see anything about that. But overall, if any future Claymore characters that come soon, where their burst is basically essentially their only source of damage, or if someone comes in like Zhongli who only do Q for damage, generally has a build for that. If that case happens, then this sword will be better and better. So of course, with that said, definitely get it R5, but there's no need to level it up right now. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you very much for watching. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. Thank you and have a nice day.